Today, we are going to be taking questions once we've delivered our remarks. My name is Vedant Patel. I am the Communications Director to the Khanna for Congress campaign. It has come to the attention of our campaign that Khanna's campaign for Congress has been taking part in an illegal cyber attack and data breach for many years now. On May 31st, 2016, it was discovered by the Khanna for Congress campaign that Brian Parvisahi, Khanna's 2016 campaign manager and closest advisor, was illegally accessing confidential and proprietary files from Khanna's re-election campaign. The documents and files in question were located in a private campaign Dropbox account. Mr. Parvisahi was first given access to this Dropbox folder controlled by the Aram Group, LLC, a former fundraising consultant of the Khanna campaign. Mr. Parvisahi was an intern there in the middle of 2012. Despite no longer being an employee of the Aram Group, we have clear evidence that since 2013, Mr. Parvisahi continued to illegally access the Dropbox folder while being employed by our opponent, Row for Congress Incorporated. We have evidence in the form of timestamps and digital fingerprints that Mr. Parvisahi illegally accessed many confidential documents in 2014 and 2015 when he was working for Khanna's congressional campaign. It's no coincidence that Mr. Khanna promoted Mr. Parvisahi from data director to campaign manager during this time, despite his lack of political management experience. There is correlating evidence that Row for Congress Incorporated had used this confidential, highly sensitive information from these illegally obtained documents to further their own congressional race. Among the numerous documents illegally accessed and obtained by Mr. Parvisahi were strategic documents, memorandums, event invites, and private fundraising lists with private contact information of supporters and donors of Congressman Khanna. Upon discovery that Mr. Parvisahi had access to these files, he was immediately revoked access on May 31st, 2016. But the damage had been done. There is compelling evidence that Mr. Khanna and his campaign have harassed individual supporters of Congressman Khanna for political support and financial contributions, violating their privacy. The individuals who were solicited were Khanna supporters who had no existing relationship with Mr. Khanna or his campaign. Row for Congress Incorporated illegally accessed and stole numerous documents important to the Khanna for Congress campaign. This cyber attack and the use of such information by Row for Congress Incorporated is a violation of federal law. After a period of discovery, the Khanna for Congress campaign has filed a lawsuit against Row for Congress Incorporated and Brian Parvisahi for violation of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. We have also named Mr. Khanna as a conspirator under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. The Khanna for Congress campaign is seeking damages and injunctive relief under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act against the illegally obtained documents, as again there is correlating evidence that Row for Congress Incorporated had used these documents to further Mr. Khanna's campaign. We will also be bringing claims against Mr. Parvisahi, Mr. Khanna, and Row for Congress Incorporated under the Federal Economic Espionage Act. The civil suit was filed at 7:47 a.m. this morning, Thursday, September 22nd, 2016. It was filed with the United States District Court in the Northern District of California. Let me finish by saying that this highlights an alarming trend by Row Khanna of cheating the system to advance himself and his political ambitions. He was forced from office for breaking rules in a university election. In his earlier failed attempts at Congress, he falsely claimed the endorsements from President Bill Clinton and the California Democratic Party. He had refused to pay his own campaign staffers for work on his congressional races. This most recent incident exhibits a pattern that Khanna will say or do anything to get elected. Khanna's unethical and deplorable actions should be of great concern to Silicon Valley voters. We believe our allegations to be true, and as such, Khanna is unfit to hold this seat and unfit to represent this congressional district. At this point, I will turn it over to Gautam Dutta from Business, Energy, and Election Law, our campaign's attorney.